Yo, yo, yo. It is Monday. How are you? How are you all doing? First of all, let me get situated here. It's Monday. We back like we always are every Monday. Whether it's me and this talented gentleman here to the other side of me, the great talent, or my co-host with the most, Miss Bernadette B. Love, the queen of LGL Real Talk. So either way, you're gonna get some great information every Monday, no matter what happens is going down. Today is Monday, so it's just like it always is. And I gotta always start off by asking my partner in crime and my co-host talent, brother, what's going on? Because we haven't seen you in about 2 weeks.
I
So
know, right?
been a long
Yo,
time.
let me
You
tell you
shouldn't have
something,
left them.
bro. Let me tell you something. It's been a hell of a roller coaster, and it's about to kick back up because the holidays around the corner. So I already see where this shit is going. I'm not complaining. It is what it is. But let me tell you something. This was the first time a brother had a full weekend, 3-day weekend off and home.
Wow.
And it fell perfectly where four loved ones had birthdays this weekend. So my aunt kicked it off Friday night. And then Shayla, shout out to Shayla from WBLS. Shayla
Okay.
and Aldo had 2 surprise parties back to back. So we had to go to Jersey, get in there at 5 o'clock, surprise the shit out of Shayla, then leave there about 8 o'clock, go across town. Only I knew, surprise the shit out of Aldo. So needless to say, we were very high, very drunk, very fed and full and fat and fluffy looking. And we had a great time. And I was like, yo, I can't tell you, other than Thanksgiving, like the last time, just a bunch of family and friends just kicking it, that real raw, good energy. You know what I mean? That real good,
Yes.
we just feel good type shit. You know what I mean? So that was dope. I had a great weekend, bro. I had a great weekend.
Absolutely phenomenal. You know what's so crazy, man? Mine was great as well. I gotta say this. I don't know. T, what's your sign?
Taurus.
Taurus. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
Aquarius. I don't know about you. I don't know how many Sagittarian friends you have. These people are really a nation. Like all jokes aside, and this is no disrespect to any other zodiac sign. I want y'all to hear me when I say this, because I know all of us think our zodiac signs are the absolute best and blah 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 and blah blah blah. But Sagittarians, goodness gracious, it is a million of y'all. Y'all are almost like Public Enemy 8089. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back.
Hello.
Yo, T, everybody I know is Sagittarius. I swear, like everybody, family members, like everybody. I'm like, yo, what the hell? And like you said, it's a nonstop onslaught. I got several people who passed away who I had to celebrate in these last couple of days and weeks. And I'm like, yo, it doesn't let up. And I don't even want to talk about the celebrity part of it, because you look up and every other celebrity that you know is Sagittarius. I saw today, I think Jamie Foxx is. I know Jay is. Like the list, I'm like, it's a lot of y'all. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, and they a little annoying. They mad, yo, on some real. They like, some signs, oh yeah, my birthday recognized, and then you got these annoying motherfuckers, right? Yo, Sagittarians be like, here's a Sag. I got about 4 or 5 of these hits, Sagittarius, nigga. Oh, word, no birthday wish. Like, settle down. Settle down. I don't walk around here with a birthday alarm that goes off. First of all, I tell people this shit all the time because everybody takes it personal when it comes to them, right? And I'm like, yo, don't look at it like that. This is just how I am. I've never been good at remembering birth dates. I tell people all the time, I probably wouldn't remember my own shit if I didn't make it a business out of it. If I didn't make it my thing to work and celebrate and throw those annual things or whatever, I probably forget my own shit. Like, I tell people, I'm not even lying. My mom, God bless the dead, and I'm glad, it's the only reason I'm glad she's gone, she can't crucify me no more. Every year, for me to remember my mom's birthday, and this is your mother, nigga, don't get no more connected than that. My sister, who's the baby, 5 years younger than me, would call me or text. Well, yeah, call me because she would not real text. She would call me every year in my mother's birthday month of April and be like, it's the blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, thank you.
Okay.
And I looked real good because she got tired of watching me for about 10, 15 years. Like,
just fumble it.
I think it's horrible. I'm gonna help you out. She didn't even say it. She just started doing it. And every year I'd be like, thank you. What do you think we should get? And da da da. So my deal was she don't have to spend nothing on the gift because you're reminding me whatever I get is from us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That was our deal for the last 20 fucking years. So, but Sag people, other signs, oh, no problem. Yeah, thank you. They take the belated or whatever. Not Sag. The motherfuckers is in my phone right now as we speak. Word, nigga. You can't call nobody.
So we had a couple of those celebrations this weekend. So I was, mindful and thankful that I was able to be a part of those celebrations as well as all. And again, big birthday shout out to all you Sagittarians because y'all still got a couple of days before y'all actually give up the crown. I will say this: y'all ride till the wheels fall off for real, for real. Like I'm happy in and around the day, and then after that, I'm sort of like whatever. But y'all really do mean the whole month. Y'all just damn near party the whole year. I'll be like, what is wrong? Look, you only came in here on one day. It wasn't a Mardi Gras. It wasn't a week celebration. It was one day. But with that having been said, it's Motivational Monday, y'all. We here. For some reason, if you're here on the East Coast, especially here in NYC, thankfully, our weather has been, a little mild. So we'll just be thankful and mindful of that. Like you said, you were home this weekend, so it was kind of moving and shaking a little bit differently. I was like, okay, I'll take mild for 1,000 because I'm not ready for it to be super cold and wintry and all that stuff. So I'll take this. That's me speaking for me. I can't speak for nobody else. But also, with that having been said, just the beauty of touching base with people. That's one thing that I've been doing a better job of as well. I always, kind of mention that on our Motivational Mondays. So I really have been picking up the phone and or sending text messages to people who I might not have spoken in 6 months, a year, whatever. And the feedback has been incredible because people really are like, oh, snap, yo, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I'm good. I can't hear you, T. Oh, so I really have been happy to utilize that as a way to hopefully, and especially this time of year, and Tal and I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, when you're at this time of the year and the holidays are here, we all know that we tend to have friends and family who are going through, specific things, especially if they may have lost loved ones and, so forth and so on. So please, y'all, send those text messages. Like I said, pick up the phone, call somebody who you might not have spoken to in a while. You have no idea how impactful and how special that is really going to be to and for them, especially because at this time of year, it really is tough for a lot of us to, kind of maneuver this space. For a great portion of us, it is absolutely one of the most magnificent times of the year. We're always happy, we're excited, but for some of us, it's a little tough. So please do your due diligence, reach out to your friends and family, and make sure that they're okay and that they are in a space, in a headspace that at least is conducive to this time of year, and or they're doing okay, because this is tough. We already got to deal with COVID, Amarion, and all these different things. So please just do yourself a favor, reach out to friends and family, and get them situated, and put us in put yourself and your friends and family in a situation where there's some levity, there's some love there. People are feeling as though they know that somebody cares. I've received the weirdest message today from a very good friend, and it was a video. I don't know if any of y'all have seen this, and I'm only bringing this up because this is what I mean about staying motivated. Happened to be some young brother who had been going through some tumultuous stuff with his wife initially. We had kids with. He's on the live talking to the public at large, and he's saying how he had gone through all this tumultuous stuff. He said, and because of what he had gone through with her in terms of trying to fight over their children, this, that, the third, he went to the house, murdered her, and then was going to his girlfriend's house to murder her. Well, no, I'm sorry, he murdered his girlfriend first.
Yeah, he already killed the ex-girlfriend, And when he's
ex-girlfriend.
on the live, he's explaining
Yeah, explaining
that his
and he
wife
was
is
moving.
next, and then he sees her. Yeah.
He sees her, and then he supposedly offed himself as well. But again, I bring that up because we really have no idea how much stuff people are going through. I tell people all the time, you might get upset because somebody didn't text you back or somebody didn't pick up the phone and get back to you. But people are going through some stuff. And let's be fair and let's be clear about this. A lot of us are afraid to be transparent and or to ask for help. It doesn't make you a good person or bad person. A lot of us are just wired that way. We feel some kind of way if and when we ask somebody for help and they extend themselves, because then we think we're beholden to them, and we think to ourselves in some form or fashion it makes us look and or feel weak. And I'm just, here to tell you guys, please don't believe that. Understand that there are people who care. There are people who want to see you win. There are people who want to see you, be your best and be at your best and enjoy this format of what life is giving us at this particular time. But you got to reach out too. That's a two-way street. You can't just think that people are going to know what's going on with you and how you're doing. You have to help them part of the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's sad, man. And this is why when I see stories like that, the first thing that comes to mind is the reason why we take time out every week and do what we do, with these words, with these examples, because the guy says it in the video. He said, "Yo, let me just say this to y'all, man. Y'all gotta be careful how y'all treat people, and not disregard, their feelings and hurt their feelings and stuff like that," which is words to fucking live by. No pun intended, because everybody died in this situation, but these are words you really should practice and live by, because I live like that all the time. And in return, I'm not gonna lie, we're all human, and we have these moments and these potholes in our lives where we need a minute. There's gonna be times where you're just gonna need a minute, and it's not being rude. Especially me, I'm very conscious of trying to, not get worked up and not come off a certain way to a person or whatever. I was in the bar on one of the nights. It might have been last night, or the night before. But either way, like, young lady comes sit next to me, and I know her from around the way, and she's been to a few functions and stuff like that. And we're all in our like chill out zone. Like, believe it or not, there's times you somewhere and you're not talent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talent
Yes.
right now. I'm Troy from the neighborhood. I'm James, whatever. I'm Mount Vernon High School, and we're in this local bar with all the people. We all know each other, one form of fashion. So we have that connection. Everybody's safe. It's cool. And it's just tight. We vibing. And the young lady, started off regular. So I give her a few minutes. She's sitting on, my left side. So, hey, what's up? Yeah, remember that? Yeah, remember that? You know, and she pulled the phone out and she's going through some pictures. Look at this. And no, no, no. And after 3 or 4 of them, I'm like, and like, she's trying to quiz me. Who's that? And now I'm 3, 4 drinks in, Amir, and I'm like, yo, you know what though? Now at the time, I'm dumb twisted. I hear you, I feel you. Said it as nice as I could. Didn't matter how nice I said it. She still took it like, oh, this motherfucker wants some shit, right? So the girlfriend on the other side of her, who's a regular in there, sees all the time, same thing. She's not even mean, and she's the same thing, like, yo, chill. Like, nah, fuck that, I'm out. And she leaves, and she looks at me and doing this shit, and I'm like, what was that about? She was like, I try to tell her, like, just chill. Like, everybody's in chill mode. Don't, you don't want to rub people the wrong way. Like, you recognize the mode somebody's in, and boom. You know how many people I know in the industry, I'm just speaking of industry, that I see any given Sunday, like on a hum, even though I know them, even though I may have rapport with them and we're in the same profession or we're entertainers or whatever, I still don't invade their space. You got to invite me over for me to feel like, okay, what's up, y'all?
Okay.
I'm not, if I crash a space, I guarantee you, I'll crash it in a brief minute or two just to be funny and say hello, and then I'm going to my corner. I have to be invited into because I don't know where y'all could be talking about something goofy, or y'all could be fucking grieving on some serious shit, or y'all could be plotting to kill a motherfucker. I don't know. What I do know is it's your space, and I'm not gonna violate it. You know what I mean? Inappropriately. Now, if you say, "Yo, T, come over here, we're gonna get a few shots, man. How you been?" That changes everything. But me just coming and doing, and even though it was an invasion a little bit, I didn't have to be an asshole and say that. You know what I mean? I feel like we're adults. I shouldn't have to be an asshole in the situation. I could keep it light, keep it casual, and be like, yeah, you know, I made light of it. Like, yo, what you asking me, show me right now. By the minute this liquor's kicking in, I can't really. I'm all lackadaisical. I'm in another space, and you know, I'm part of me, blah blah blah. But it wasn't good enough. We have to take in consideration other people's feelings. That's why I do it. And even that time, I'm not saying it's a perfect world. And when you take those things in consideration, it may or may not help. But at least you know you can sleep at night because you did the right thing. You did your part. You handled it right. Now, here's the thing about handling things. Every time you handle something, people are not going to take it the right way all the time. All you can do is your part. You know when you did the right thing and you went about something right. Now, the results may not be what you want them to be or expect them to be, but you got to sleep at night. That's how I look at it, people. I look at it like I don't lose sleep at night. Like, you know, it's crazy. This is the difference in COVID and regular life. I would be up all night, not because anything I'm thinking or worried of or whatever. My dumb ass trying to watch all the TV in the world, you know what I mean? Or the movies or whatever. That's my dumb ass. But since the pandemic, the craziest thing, this part of the pandemic, I should say, year 2, is now things are starting for the most part earlier and ending earlier. So now when I come in, if I come in here or a hotel room and I got my cookies or whatever, damn, I just had delivery. I forgot to pick up my cookies. You know, I mess around, take them, and I'm knocked out dumb early. And I'm like, I wake up like, what the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what happened? I'm like, oh, I was watching something. I got to go back, backtrack, figure it out, and catch back up, jump back in the double dutch. The ropes are already was spinning and shit with 2 hands. But some people just don't know how to take that. And you just don't know. Somebody posted, who said in the caption of that, the story we're talking about, somebody said, this is why I don't stay long enough to see how crazy, if you're actually crazy. You know what I mean? If you're actually this crazy. You know, if they have a notion that you a little off, right? I'm not going to the limit with you, bro or sis. I'm not going to the limit to see, are you crazy? Will you shoot me? Nigga, I don't want to. I don't know. If you tell me you're going to shoot my ass, I believe you.
Thank you, T. You know, it's so funny. And it's amazing because, like you said, to feed off exactly what you just said. So last week, as you know, just in passing, you know, Ali Sadiq was here. He did salsa last Tuesday.
Oh yeah, did you go?
Yes. Now here's what's so funny about this. So I go because I said I've never seen him perform. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go check Ali Sadiq because I've only seen his stuff, obviously on the internet, so forth and so on. As it turns out, Rudy Rush happened to be in the building. He performed, and Dick Gregory's, I don't know if it was his grandson or if it's his nephew, Mark Gregory.
Yes,
gentleman named Mark Gregory. First of all, T, all 3 of them tore salsa in half. Mark Gregory got a standing ovation, by the way.
I heard.
He went first. He got a standing ovation. Rudy came up, killed it, and then Ali finished it. Like, totally finished the place. But here's where it got to your point about, reading the room and or reading people. So after it was over, obviously I made my way to the back where Rob and Ali and Rudy was and all this stuff because I hadn't seen Rudy in a while. So it's like, man, what's up, baby? We catching up and cracking jokes. So I turned to Ali to, say something to him. So I'm like, excuse me, Ali. I just want to. And before I could finish what I was saying, he said, I recognize you. You be on the Lives with Talent. And I bust out, like, in my brain, I was like, nah, he can't be serious. Like, you're not watching myself in Talent like that. He said, nah, I watch. He said, I tune in all the time. He said, bro, I know exactly you are. You A-Rock Sealy. And I was like, wow. But I was humbled by it. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, because to your point, everything isn't always about you trying to impart something on somebody. Sometimes your presence, sometimes the things that you do, and especially the way that you make people feel leaves an impact and an imprint like you wouldn't believe. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Before we came on air, you spoke about, we would, talk about the other show that's going on simultaneously. And I know you had me on that show because what was that lady's name?
Oh,
Marlene something?
Maria Davis.
Maria Davis. She recognized me in the chat. She was like, "Oh, Amir's on here now. Let's bring him in right now." So I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Y'all trying to get me, off rip." But I bring this up because between you and some of the other wonderful people, now I'm starting to get recognized. Oddly enough, in all kind of spaces, people are like, "Yo, I watched the show and this and that and the third." And I'm like, "Cool. I appreciate all the support. I thank you for tuning in. I just want y'all to know that all I'm trying to do is give us something else to think about and or to digest other than what they want us to constantly be inundated with." I said, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not a guru on anything. I'm not the end all to be on anything. All I'm telling you is my experiences. And thankfully, I have some people who truly are part of some of those experiences. So they're experiencing the same things, that I'm experiencing. So therefore, we're able to kind of just give you different points of views and different perspectives from what it means and what it looks like to us. And I think that if more of us spent time understanding that that's all this is, your time here on this planet, however long or short you may think it to be, because that's something else that we don't do a good job with. He or she was gone too soon. To me, if you die, obviously, if you're a baby or in your early teens, then you're gone too soon. You hit your 20s and beyond, you've actually lived a pretty decent little situation. And I know everybody will go, well, that's not true. Talent, I know this is going to be hard for you because my boy is in LA right now. He tried to find the old house that Malik used to live in. He was by Venice Beach and everything. And he was like, yo, man, I can't find it. My boy Spank. So we were laughing about it and we had to think about it. It's 27 years since those birthday celebrations, T.
Wow.
Now, exactly. 27 years. Amir is 28. And I know your son, it's 27 years since those. And the reason why I bring that up is because, unbeknownst to most of y'all, like I said, y'all see this, banter between T and I now. This happened, as y'all are hearing me talk about, 27 years ago, when my brother used to throw these birthday parties, and he'd invite all these various people out, and we'd hang out for the entire weekend. And it was everything from playing pool first thing in the morning to hitting the clubs, whether they be the comedy spots or the places that were popular, at least in LA back then. And that's 27 years ago. So that's how quickly all of this stuff goes and things change. But I say that to people because I want y'all to understand 27 years is 27 years. And if any of you have children, be they here or be they lost, either way, God bless you. Think about that. You got to put that in perspective. That's not a short amount of time. That's actually a pretty good amount of time. The problem is our perspective. I always align things to other things in my life. So then that way for me, it has perspective. The fact that my daughter's 28, when somebody says to me, this happened 15 years ago or whatever, I go, well, dang, Amir's 28, so that would have made her this age or that, stage of her life or
Right.
whatever. Because now I have perspective. And then I can't look at it and go, oh, that was some time ago because of where she was and how I've seen her progress in her life and, the things that are going on for her. And the same for the elders in my family. My mom's 80, just made 83. She's in, the Sagittarius crew. So all of these varying things, I share this with y'all because I'm hoping that you guys will find gauges and things in your life that you could use as perspective. Because once you have perspective, it kind of makes it cooler when you really start looking at a lot of the things that you've been through and or have experienced to this point. And to something that, Lord Finesse says all the time, don't count the days, make the days count, which is really a thing that Muhammad Ali said. I look at it like that and I say to myself, that's really how you guys have got to look at it. We know what we did 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. I don't know how many of y'all get those things that come up on your phone with Google. If you got the Google app, there's a thing now that comes up and shows you your pictures from 9 years ago and 10 years. I don't know if y'all got that, but I do. So those pictures pop up.
Yeah, I got that shit.
And just recently, a picture popped up, and Talon knows this gentleman, Chris Brooks, who we lost early this year,
Yeah.
in January, popped up of an event that we went to 11 years ago. And I was just looking at the picture like, wow.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I say all of these things because I want people to truly understand that, like I said, everything is about perspective. And if you, to me, put it in perspectives that in some way fill you up, build you up, water you, sow into you, make you feel positive about what you've experienced to this point, then you have nothing, or you should be doing nothing but looking about adding on to that by making tomorrow and the next day just as dope, if not doper.
I'm gonna
I
give
don't know
you
if that,
talk about perspective. Watch this. Now this is comedians.
okay.
Look how many comedians on this page, right?
Yes.
Crazy. All right. Now, I always when I draw a blank, I go to this thing, to look at my colleagues over the years and remind myself of who's out there, whatever. So, just to give you perspective, let's count. AJ Johnson's no longer with us. Bernie's no longer with us. Boom, 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 boom. Who else is on here? My man, what's his name? Big Daddy Fitz, no longer with us. D. Militant, we just lost him. He wrote all the nice books, educating us on Black history and comedy and all that good stuff. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going down the line. Like, I can't go down the line. It seemed like in one person, like Angela Means is gone. Yvette Wilson, I'm looking at. That's 6.
That's wow.
Witherspoon is 7. You know what I mean? You got my man down here who passed away. What's my man's name? I keep drawing a blank. Ricky Harris, 8. Right? Paul Mooney, 9. Right? Now that's 9 right there on that side. And then you keep going, right? You got Roddy Bingham, you got shout out to Shucky Ducky, just spoke to him. He's alive. People don't kill him off. He's alive. Just spoke to him. Gonna be coming this way soon. James Hanna. Courtney G is battling what he's battling. You know what I mean? So on here, as I count, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, just that I know of.
Yes.
18 off of this loss.
Wow.
And these are people who occupation like mine was to deliver laughter, to take you to another therapeutic place from time to time, and do what we do, this thing called stand-up comedy. But to your point, Amir, is like, I think a lot of people when it comes to life and appreciating how long you're going to be here and all that, people treat it like, I always say they treat it like a rapper. The rapper, a hit rapper, could never see the day he's not hitting no more. Every hit rapper thinks that's what it's going to always be. And it's not. It's not a long-lived profession. You have your select exceptions of the rule, like the Jay-Z's and all of them that made it but for the most part, there's not going to be a rapper that's going to keep making music and selling music for 20 years. It's not going to happen. I'm not saying he can't go out and perform his shit if he has some hits, but I'm just saying, like, making the business he got into, making a record, selling a record, blah, 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 playing on the radio, whatever his thing is, they can't see the forest through the trees ever. And the problem is a lot of people are stuck in that same syndrome. They can't see that, I need to get my shit together because boom. I need to do this because boom. Because one day, boom. One day, boom. Most people can't see the forest through the trees. This I call a blessing of the pandemic. If I could pick one good thing out of the pandemic, it put a flame under a lot more people's asses, because this thing, whatever you want to call it, man-made, monkey, whatever, it caught everybody off guard.
Yes.
So imagine somebody just saying, now, like, just come out the sky, go now. Like, you're not ready. You didn't have time to iron your shirt. You didn't, I was going to start saving money next week and blah, 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 and the food in the fridge. Nobody gave a fuck about none of that. Everybody got blindsided with what we call the new way of life now, this pandemic. And if nothing else, the only good thing I could say from that thing, if I had to point to it, is it put a reboot and flame under a lot of people's asses. It made
Yes.
some people nicer. It made people appreciate what they had more. Because you know how many people probably was just complaining before the
About
shutdown
everything.
about everything. And then here this thing come, you go, whoa, I thought I had it bad, but now I got it bad. You thought you had it bad, but now you see you got it bad. So we gotta, as a people, we gotta put more emphasis in these things. That these are not big monumental things. These are small, simple things in life that we look over, bro. You know, it reminds me of, remember the cartoons when motherfucker had to clean and they was always too lazy to get the dustpan, so they lift the carpet up
And just sweep it under.
and
Exactly. True story. You know what I mean? You like, and it's so funny that, like you said, you bring it to that, because even this, and I know social media has become such a major part of all of our lives. I want everybody to truly understand it. And it depends on who you are, because there are some people who really haven't bought into this as well. So I'm not saying that this is everybody's struggle or even everybody's story. But for the most part, it is a lot of our stories now. Please, please, please do the best you can to disseminate the fact that what you see on some of these platforms from some of your favorite people and some people who are not some of your favorite people is just that. It's information on these platforms. It does not necessarily dictate and or mean that's who these people are. They are playing characters, they are creators, they are all of these varying things that you are now being invited into that world for whatever reason. It may resonate with you. It may be something that, in all fairness, you thought of as well at some point and just didn't bring it to the masses at large. So there is some angst and some you feel some kind of way about some of it. But I bring all that up to say this: don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't allow yourself to be, caught up in the relationship part of things or the worldly part of things, meaning those who you see traveling. Oh my God, such and such is away again. I can't even, get away from my desk. You can't get away from your desk because you don't want to get away from your desk. You can do all kinds of beautiful and amazing things, and some which don't even require you travel. I just had a really great conversation with a friend of mine, and I mean this. And like I said, we always talking motivational stuff on here, but some of you, for instance, are going away to all of these wonderful islands and you're jumping on these ATVs. Look, you're not even moped material. Why would you jump on a deadly machine like that when mopeds aren't even something that you can really maneuver? I want y'all to really think about that. I see a ton of y'all. I came back. I got three located, separated discs. My eye socket is messed up. What are y'all doing? Stop. And I don't want to hear you only live once. I've had to explain this to people. You die once. You live every day. Stop getting that confused. You die once, but you live every day. So please, y'all, stop letting these things confuse y'all, because we've said them wrongly for so long that people really take them to heart. T, have you seen these videos and, got friends that's coming back from some of these islands jacked up because they jumping on these AT? You're lay on the beach or sit in a cabana material. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let your friends dupe you into stupidity. Let's zip line. You are too heavy for a zip line. I'm not saying that to disrespect anybody. I want to see you come back in one piece.
right.
You're not supposed to go on vacation and come back broke up. The whole purpose of vacation is to woosah, relax, recharge, and come back with a new
No, yo, you can't
sense of
listen,
life.
bro. You can't. First of all, you talking about you don't want to blame. I'm blaming people, women, because it be these motherfuckers that want to be Queen Adventure, right? Oh, I signed us up for. Let's go to the. Sign me up for the grill and that launch out there, and the Bluetooth speaker, and what the fuck, and a margarita, maybe a rum punch or some shit. But they love to, and yo, I never stop nobody. I just don't go. be as mad as you will. I just don't go because I already know what it could be. I would have this thing when talent dies, and when you hear that, the next because the first thing people say is, "Well, how did he die?" Right? Guarantee it's going to be some shit that makes sense in my life. You're going to be like, talent died. Oh shit, what happened? Man, he fucking tripped and fucking Heineken bottle got enlarged. And you're gonna be like, yeah, the nigga
Okay.
always did have Heineken, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be, oh, he was hang gliding and his parachute didn't open. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I can't. And the fun part about it is, to your exact point, I get it, ladies. You get to these places. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get back. Take plenty of pictures. If you don't go back, you have all these beautiful pictures that you can look to and go, I remember when I was there. Like I'm like you, T. Oh, you don't want to do anything. No, other than stay in the sun and cook a little bit. And like you said, have drinks, because
Fucking
when you
women,
bake,
man.
yeah, when you bake and have drinks, it is the best thing in the world. You laugh at
Yo,
everything. You laugh at all the other people on the resort. You laugh
yo,
at the
you just
hell.
reminded me, Cancun, 90 something. Fuck. Anyway, early 90s Cancun. My boys from Boston, they come out on this trip. And we all hanging out. We at the fucking resort and go out the back to the beach, you know. So you got the little native motherfuckers. Hey, jet skis, jet skis. So we like, you know what? We like jet skis. Let's do a little jet skiing. The motherfucker said, yeah, see right here, he pointing the shit right there. You don't go past that little reef right there. Shit's crazy, blah, blah. So I'm like, I'm that guy. I'm the
Okay.
guy like, first of all, I don't want to break your machine. I don't want to pay for shit. So you said right there? Okay, cool. We riding this shit and we get up on the fucking reef. And what do these fucking dirtbags want to do? Yo, race you over here. I said, no, I'm the corny nigga. Yo, the dude said,
Don't.
don't pass this shit. Man, come the fuck on, you pussy. I was like this. I started taking my ass back, right? I see the guy from out there on the beach, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what y'all
I'm telling
doing? I'm coming back, right? I come back. I don't even think I finished my time. I come back. There you go. He said, what's up with your friends? I said, bro, I don't know what the fuck they doing, man. There go my shit, though. Give me my license or whatever, my little deposit. I'm good. I'll meet them niggas back at the bar. I go back in the swimming pool with the swim up bar. I'm sitting in there, bro. I bullshit you not, Amir. Couldn't have been 45 hours, maybe 45 minutes. I just hear mass sirens, fucking ambulance pull up. These motherfuckers got they come out with the gurney and shit on the wheels. They flying through the resort. I'm in the pool like, I wonder what the fuck happened. My boy Corey from Boston fell off his jet ski out there, past the little reef shit. Fucking barracuda swim by, open that nigga up.
see.
Open his hole from the fucking from the outside of the hip all the way down to the knee. Open that nigga whole leg up. So I'm sitting there now, a little toasty, 2 drinks in, and here they come, and I see the other couple of dudes walking alongside of him. I'm like, yo, it's good. It was like fucking cool. So I get up, I'm wet, drunk, and confused. I'm like, so what happened? Yeah, we gotta go with him. We're gonna jump in. We're gonna follow. I gotta take him to the hospital, man. Fucking barracuda, they said, slit his leg, open him up, and I'm like, and I ain't say shit to them because it ain't the time yet, right? But as soon as they leave, I go back to that pool bar. I was like, I told these niggas.
Exactly. Yo, T, and you know what's so funny? You're right, because Cancun, especially that 90, we know exactly the time frame, because we had the exact same thing happen. We out, same thing. They told us, yo, don't go out past a certain place, blah blah blah, this, that, the third. Our team, Cats is out there. Here's what made ours worse though, because that's the other thing too. Your guys and you women don't necessarily experience this, but this is a guy thing. We ain't shit when we know we ain't supposed to be shit, and by that I simply mean this. So they out there, and you know how sometimes them waves can hit you, on the jet ski, hit and rock you. So you gotta, really, brace yourself when you come down. Otherwise, you
Right.
fall off that bitch. And it ain't easy sometimes to get back up on that jet ski once you done fallen off. So I never forget. I forget who it was, but all I know is one of us couldn't get back on. These niggas spent the next 15 minutes just coming by splashing them. Splash. Every time you try to get back on that jet ski, splash. This nigga fall back off. You drown. You can't get back on. You waterlogged. You're like, I hate these dudes. Y'all are the worst. But
real shit, bro.
But to that point, that's why I said, look, I get it. Even visiting the countryside, I know that, those excursions that, again, you ladies like, oh, well, let's go see the countryside. I'm just going to keep it 1,000 for y'all. Poor is poor everywhere in the world. Like, I know y'all think that there's a different level of poor. Poor is poor to me. I don't feel any different because you are in an island and you don't have shoes on. You're not supposed to. It's 100 degrees out here. What you gonna do with shoes and it's 1,000,000 degrees? So to me, it's the same shit. But I understand because you ride through. They like, we're gonna ride through town so you can see. He's sitting out here with a goat, a dog, and 3 chickens. I got family in the South. I've seen that before. Again, I got family in the country in Raleigh, so I know what that looks like. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking anything. I'm just telling you I'm kind of familiar with that. Then the other thing that just gets me, and maybe it's just me, it's always interesting to get those drivers from those islands who obviously know the roads and but they drive fast as heck, and everything is
a motherfucker.
You be in that van like this.
Let me tell you something. As an American, any car you in and the steering wheel's on the other side, it's scary. I don't give a fuck. It's scary because your brain is programmed to how we right away, but over there it's left away. So it's like, yo, but everybody's telling you, the fuck, this is stressful. I'm like, yeah. But what I will say this though about the hustle of, like, say Jamaica, right? I love the hustle of Jamaica, that when you get that guide, right, or you get in the shuttle or something, they got that shit set up where, let's say you're going in the Grill, which is fucking hour away from the Montego Bay Airport, whatever. They got 2 stops lined up at their cousin's spots. That motherfucking shuttle going to make 2 stops. 15 minutes in, 40 minutes in. They get you some weed if you want, or some food, a little shack with some food and beer.
Yes.
And we're just gonna stop. Y'all want some water, or whatever. But that's their people's spot. So you talk about business helping business. It's the dope shit. Like I do admire that part of the hustle. Like, I'm like, oh, look at the motherfuckers stopping, and they know the people. They do it whatever amount of times a day, a week.
Yeah.
And it'd be people on the shuttle that want some ganja. It'd be people like me, might be hot, want a cold beer or a bottle of water or something, and everything in between. Motherfuckers cooking that's real chicken.
Yeah.
I keep telling people we ain't got no more chicken in America. That's real chicken.
Over there? Like I said, literally, I'm telling you, be driving, especially if you go to see the countryside, you see the chickens, they sitting on the porch with, the countrymen. You be like this, oh shit, these niggas got real joints. Like, that's a real goat. That curry goat is real goat. It's not something that's made up or whatever. And, obviously now things have changed in a lot of these places where, unfortunately, they have a lot more of our modernized, Americanized restaurants and stuff. But I remember back in the days when we used to go to these places and, they had food, like a goat leg would be out in the sun, just hanging. You'd be like, so somebody's going to get that? They're like, yeah. We're bringing that back to the hotel. We're going to rock that out. Like you said, we got the grill going. Trust me, you're going to love it. And you sitting there like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm used to the supermarket, but it's different. You got to do stuff differently when you're in a different place. So you got to go with it.
Me, I always I get around people. I have this thing of, I'm an advocate for pets because I know how they help your health, right? So I'd be like, oh, you got to get a pet, whatever. So this Jamaican girl said she didn't want to get a pet. Like, I'm like, yo, you ain't got a pet? She said, no, because back home in Jamaica, I had a goat and her family lied to her, let her name the goat and everything that she got a pet until the motherfucker was right, I guess, the right age and size. And they ate this motherfucker, traumatized this little girl.
Yeah. It, I, it,
I don't
it,
want no
it,
more pets after that shit. These motherfuckers have told me this is my pet. I done name the motherfucker. I'm out there feed. I'm doing all this shit only to come home one day. And, sit down and eat. But where's Blackie? Blackie wants you to eat. It's just Blackie's way of saying showing
yeah.
love.
But I'm telling you, so all of these things that we're sharing with you guys, I want y'all to just understand. These are all microcosms of the bigger picture, like I said, which is, contributing to all the societal things that are going on a constant basis. Like I said, we're inundated with so much really tough and hard information on a daily basis. I mean,
Yes.
obviously, since everything that's happened in the last 2 years, every day, it seems that there's some new spin that they put on whatever it is they're trying to get us to, believe and or buy into. And if it's not coming from our direct leaders, there's like I've been on the train and I said I was frustrated with myself because I didn't take a picture of it, but I saw on one of the trains recently they had an ad talking about obviously taking the vaccination and everything, and they said the vaccination has been known to in rare cases cause death, but that's not that big a deal versus the bigger picture. And I was like, is that what you tell yourself so that you can sell this thing? Or is that what you tell the person who lost that family member, who that family member was everything to that family? Because they don't see it that way. They're
Right.
not sitting there going, hey, this wasn't that big a deal. They go, it was a big deal to me. My mother, my father,
This
my
tore our family apart. Yeah.
yeah, this like what are we talking about? But it goes to show you again, wordplay. We don't necessarily always understand how powerful words are to something that, Talon made mention of earlier. And this is why I hope and pray that we all do a better job of not only understanding the language, but understanding the power of words, period, and in general. You hear sayings such as the power of life and death is in the tongue. And it is. I mean, we've seen situations where people have spoken about a specific situation and caused uproar, ruckus, and things to go left. But we've also seen people utilize their same voice and utilize their same tongue to speak peace and to speak tranquility and to speak beautifulness. When you look at some of our gone leaders, Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and again, these are gentlemen who have all obviously have been gifted orators, as they call them. You look at what those gentlemen were able to do. It's the power of their words and the passion behind their words that has swayed us one way or the other, and has always led us to figure out what side of the moment we stand in and or stand on.
Right.
And I think that we have to really understand that and really know that that's all a part of the bigger picture. It's easy to demoralize and or degrade somebody, and I don't mean that as a something that we should be looking to do. There are always moments when we can choose how to use our words and what to do with them, because those moments just exist. But the question is, what do you do when you're in those moments, and how do you handle those moments? Because that's really where the power is. The power isn't the fact that you could tear somebody down with talking about them and or spreading lies and rumors and craziness about them. The power is in, do I need to do that to this specific person, and or is this a situation warranting that kind of energy? Everything that we do is energy involved. I know y'all hear me say that all the time. I'm just a firm believer in everything that we do is energy based. Every single solitary thing we do. Decisions we make, the moves that we make, the people who come in and out of our spaces, be they for temporary reasons and or for long-term reasons, it's all energy based. But it's energy based off of also what you're giving to the universe. See that tie in. I just said this to somebody. If y'all remember the original Matrix, the very end of that first Matrix, when everything turns green, and you got the ones and the zeros. Remember when everything turned green, and he's looking, he's like, oh snap. That's all of us have that ability. The question is, are you tuning into it? because I hear so many people share things like, "Oh, I had a dream about such and such," or "I was here before." That lets you know that you can bend time and space. How would you have been someplace before that you never got to? It lets you know that you can bend time and space. So it's an energy thing, which
Right.
in turn should allow you to know and understand that, okay, if everything is energy based, then I could either use the energy in a positive way or I could use it in a negative way. And the best thing that you could do, and love being the highest form of energy that they say exists, is try to utilize that energy to go forward, to participate, to take every day on, to share with the people on your job, to pass it on to your children, to pass it on to your friends and coworkers, to pass it on to people in your circles. Because as you do that, it has a funny way of coming back in all these other new dope formats that leave you in such good spaces. You're like, wow, like how did that door open? It opened because you started and you led with it. So it had no choice but to come back. And I'm not sure if all the time we're aware of that. And it's hard to stay in that energy, by the way. I don't want anybody to think that it's, the simplest thing in the world to do, because we all have our moments where we question things. Not only our friends and family. If you religious, I don't think there's a man or woman who can say they didn't have at some point where they didn't question God based off of whatever. Because I'm sitting here, I'm living proof. Like I said, that man can tell you, you never saw my brother without me, technically speaking, except for when he was, playing sports and so forth and so on. But, you know, normally you saw the two of us together. But the reason why you saw the two of us together is because one, we were a year apart. And I felt as his big brother, it's my job to make sure that nobody messes with him. And he felt as my little brother, it's his job to make sure nobody messes with me. That's what brothers do. That's what brothers and sisters do.
Yeah.
Talent,
Yeah.
say the same thing about his sister. Y'all have heard him, mention it on numerous occasions. His sisters, protect him. Hey, wait a minute. That's my little brother. Watch your
But
mouth.
them bitches is crazy.
You know what I mean? But
Them bitches,
that's
it had
all.
knuckle game. You understand me? My
Yeah.
sisters, nothing to be
But,
fucked with.
but that, but that's a part of, and that's what I mean. Like there's a synergy and an energy to that you can't explain. I always, and I'm sure we may have some people who are going to watch this later, and people who are on here now. You may be only children, so sometimes it's hard for you to understand that, because I've, had my fair share of conversations with my friends who are only children. They be like, "I'm glad I don't have a brother or sister." And I'm like, in theory, I'm sure you are, because you don't understand the power of having a brother or sister. Yes, they can definitely get on your nerves sometimes. They might even rub you the wrong way based off of some of the decisions they make. But at the same time, there's always those moments where you connect in a way that you be like, this moment was so damn dope. But you can, hopefully do the same with your regular friends and family and the people who you are enamored by and the people who you, what you call it. The one thing that I also wanted to share, and this was big to me, and I know going again into this, final couple of weeks of the year, please, y'all, do everything you can to mess with the people who mess with you. I'm not saying to totally cut, because I always this time of year, I'm always laughing when I see everybody, it's the time to cut all the friends on Facebook. If you haven't said anything on a post, you have never engaged, and my thing is this. They cut themselves off. They really only watching because they waiting to see what other great things are gonna transform in your life, so that they can be miserable about that. So let them have the front row seat. I don't even know why y'all play the cutoff game. I tell people all the time, the people who I know comment, I rocks with them, so I'm fine. For those who don't comment and you just want a first row view to the show, come on in. Sit right up front, so this way you don't miss Jack, because I want you to see this.
Yo, Miss
This is for
Jack.
you. You know what I mean? This is all for you. Let me let you see everything. Wow. Yes. You had a chance to be a part of that. But remember, you chose not to because of your interesting ways about how you see your life. I don't have anything to do with that. I can only control mine.
No, I
You know
mean
what I mean?
you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely. And two things. One is, some of you people out there that had these dreams and you call people had a dream. You had a fucking dream. You're not a psychic. You don't know anything. You probably subconsciously think about something, makes us dream about something. and we think we put it away or tucked it in the plate. No, it's in your subconscious, and it's still there. So when you sleep, you tap into the subconscious, and you may dream about that. But I'm tired of everybody thinking they're psychic. No, because I seen it. I seen it, and then the dog had two heads. And okay, settle down, sir. Until we see a two-headed dog, we're not going to have any validity with this thing. That's first of all. Second of all, speaking of motivation, here's an exercise. Try, there's different techniques, but to me, to stay motivated, I look at the opposite. I look at negative things. I look at negative news. I look at catastrophes. Like we just had these tornadoes rip through the goddamn country, 30 of them. And the death toll's up to like 75 people so far, and they're still looking. And something like that, when something catastrophic happens, I apply it to self. Don't just walk away like, oh, I'm glad I'm not over there, blah, blah, blah. No, that's a thing, and it happened. It's a real big thing. It happened. Like Amir said, each person, that's a family affected. So what I do is, when I see these things, I see these articles and these facts of news that these happen, these bad things, these negative things, I take a breath, a few breaths, a few steps back mentally, and I let that be the reason for me to do something positive and better and productive and helpful. Let negative things be the reason that you stay focused on your positive trail and your journey. You know, you want to stay motivated, look at that thing that was total opposite of what you're trying to do. You know, I don't know about you, but it happens in business every day. Like a guy will look at one guy who owns a bar or a lounge, and grand opening, grand closing. He opened it, he didn't last a year, whatever, whatever. There's somebody watching that like, you know what? He did that wrong. I'm gonna open that shit back up. And what he didn't do is, he didn't do this. He didn't add this. He didn't offer this. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't put this in there. He wasn't cooking the right food, or he had a evil staff, or whatever the case may be. There's people every day who do that. That's why you see something closed, you see something open right back up. Like, oh, you know what I mean? What's good? Like, you know, whole new management, whole new thing. We see it all the time in the comedy business. We'll go play a city, a certain comedy club or venue, and they'll call, and you're coming back 5-6 months later. The whole thing's changed. The people sold it to these people. They don't own it no more, blah, blah, blah. It happens all the time. Pay attention to everything going on, because these negative things, whether it be don't have to be a catastrophe, but whether it be something like that, or just something small and minor and negative and anti-progressive, you let that be the reason for you to get progressive.
Yes.
For your progress, let that be the reason, because you've seen this thing. Boom. I don't know about you, but I've made up with people because I've seen other beefs go somewhere.
Go super left. Yep.
Go super left, and I'll pull the person who I'm not speaking to. Can I talk to you for a minute? I just want to, like, fuck, you want to talk to me? Calm down. I just want to holler at you because boom, 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 boom. I don't know what you thought, but this is what it is. Boom, boom. Who knows? 8 out of 10 beefs are all misunderstandings. 8 out of 10 beefs are fucking understandings. He said, she said, or assumptions, or, you know what I mean? You assume, oh, he did that. He must. No, we don't get in each other. We don't have a direct conversation and get each other's train of thought to go, oh, I thought you was, no, I wasn't trying to do that. I didn't even think about that. Oh, okay. And no beef. But I've seen situations and relationships and different things go so far left that I go, yo, man, can we sit down and squash something real quick? Can we hash this out? Can we agree to disagree? Can we go our separate ways without you worrying about if I'm going to come behind you with a billy club, or I'm worried about you going to come behind me with a nightstick? Let that be the reason. Let the negative and the anti-progressive be the reason for you to have progress, actual progress, and do that thing you wanted to do, whatever it is. Everybody got those things they want to do, and some of it never gets done, you know, because of said reason. But take this time, do what you're doing. You know what I mean? Pay attention. Like when I turned on, you know, the tornado thing is one thing. You know, then you turn on, like you said, that video that went viral with dude who shot the ex-girlfriend, shot the girlfriend and the ex-wife, and then killed himself and stuff like that. You got to play that in your head. If you got a baby mama, a wife,
Or
a girl. That as a male, that had to register some form of fashion and say, damn, like just a real moment of deep thought, like shit. And if you guys were at each other's throats and putting your hands on each other, stuff like that, that's got to be played for a minute. It has to take a piece of your brain to go, damn, that shit could have went there.
could have left. Yeah.
Like, the last podcast I did, shout out to Kevin Brennan again, on Kevin Brennan's podcast, he says that shit. He's like, yo, the video, he brings it up, and he's like, yo, as a married dude, that shit made me think, like, because I've seen myself get a little crazy and upset. He's like, could we all be that guy? Like, is that in motherfuckers? So let these things. This is negative stories. I'm glad you brought it up. Even though it's a negative story, we're telling you how to use it as a positive spinoff.
Yes.
And hopefully you can do that.
And I think, again, talent sums it up perfectly. Take, some of the negatives, like you said, that's going on in your world, whatever they may be. Maybe yours aren't as extreme as that. Maybe yours are much lighter, which is okay and good. And that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Don't allow yourself to compare yourself to what you think is going on around you and the other races that are going on around you. Your job is to run your race. That's your only job. Your only job is to be better than who you were yesterday, an hour ago, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. That's your only job. Your job is not to be better than talent. Your job is not to be better than Amir. Your job is to be better than the last version of you that you knew needed some tweaking. Make those necessary adjustments so you can get out of life the things that matter and mean something to you, because you are the director, you are the writer, you are the camera guy, you're the person who rewrites the script. All of that is in your ability. It's not in anybody else's ability. Do you have people who, as we always say, will come in sometimes and possibly, try to write, parts of the story? No question. But again, because it's your story, you could tell somebody, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I didn't ask you to come in here and write this
This is the final draft. We
yeah,
don't need, we don't need
this. Okay, I just need you to come in here, play your part, and that's it. Don't do nothing else. You're doing too much. But with that having been said, it's Motivational Mondays. You know how we do. I love you guys. I'm always humbled and thankful to come on here and share with you guys. I hope, as always, some of the things that we said, resonate with you. Again, it's the holidays, people. Let's make those phone calls. Let's send those text messages. Check on your people. Look, if you can make some appearances, make those appearances too. Don't just be caught up in and settle for whatever. I do know that, quote unquote, there's a pandemic out there, so I know some of y'all are afraid of that too. But hey, you don't know what the impact you're going to have when somebody physically sees you versus a text message or versus a phone call. Physical has always been something that we do really well at, because now you can honestly look at the person from head to toe and assess a situation. So where you can safely, please try to engage one another, love on one another, sow into one another, as I always tell you. And you know my saying, it's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. Y'all take that with you. Take that into the rest of the week. Blessings to you all. We'll see you on Friday if we don't see you sooner, because you never know with this guy over here. Anything could pop up.
Peace,
so
King.
We love you. Peace, King. And blessings to you all. Have a great one.